Get ready for another episode that promises to dive into delusional woke antics to the bottom. Come spend 10 minutes watching a staged performative outrage or straining faulty logic to unravel in the spotlight of reality.
What transgender women are claimed to have ovaries?
There's lots of men that pretend to have ovaries. In fact, the CDC guidance says right now that men can chest feed. Do you think men can chest feed?
That's not the sole criterion for being...
So let me ask you a question. What is a woman?
A woman is someone who identifies as one.
Answer the question without saying the word woman. You can't say the word woman. That's called circular reasoning. It's like saying a tree is something that looks like a tree.
A brave young activist takes to the stage with a well-rehearsed set of talking points and a faint whiff of moral superiority, ready to educate Charlie Kirk on socialism. Spoiler alert, it doesn't end well. Charlie, with the air of a bomb disposal expert, unravels facts before the audience, while the activist flounders like a fish with air thrown in a bid to recover by spewing buzzwords. It's like watching someone bring a water pistol to a forest fire. He did what he could, at least, and isn't that the true trophy of participation in woke debates? By the end, you almost feel sorry for them. Almost.
As a non-binary person, what do you have to tell me about my identity? Because I know for a fact I'm not confused.
Okay, next question. Great statement. That's a statement. That's a statement. Okay, you know your identity. You're not confused. Congratulations, sweetheart. Thank you very much for your statement.
It is a comedy of self-owns. The non-binary person goes down to the mic to spar. Then it delivers a proclamation. No question, argument. Just a fact of self-congratulation to declare the identity. The deadpan rejoinder of, "Well, bless you, sweetheart," drips with sarcastic civility, leaving the room chuckling. The combatant, however, was left feeling very deflated. Classic battle and sword absence. The next time someone wants to pick up the microphone, they may want to ask an actual question instead of awkwardly fishing for validation. This one? Well, it was a mic drop, but not in the way they intended.
Men work an average of 44 hours a week. Women work 41 hours a week. Men go into professions like engineering, science, and math that earn more. Women want more flexible
Listen, this is not a math is hard
No. Yes, it is,
No, it
actually.
isn't.
Well, no.
Women are making 77 cents on the dollar for what men are making.
But that's not true. If so,
let Rachel make her point.
Every greedy businessman in America would hire only women, save 25%, and be hugely profitable. And I love how passionate you are. I wish you were as right about what you're saying as you are passionate about it. I really do.
That's
For
really
example,
condescending.
Nothing says, "I have a strong argument," more than storming in for the debate with cherry-picked statistics and righteous indignation. Rachel Maddow went to battle with him, using the conventional gender pay gap story, and almost immediately was flattened by facts that wouldn't fit within her Tumblr feed. The most intellectual equivalent of running head-on into a brick wall, except the wall is carrying with it a pie chart and laughter. Pro tip: before throwing down the gauntlet, make sure it isn't a rubber glove. Watching the awkward realization wash over her is pure gold. Add this to the list of things that do not lie: numbers.
Racist people who exist. The argument that you're making, and I'm going to close with this because this is going in weird directions, and I don't really want to.
No, it's not.
I don't really want to get. Just hold up a second. I let you get out your arguments, and now it's time for me to respond because I let you say.
Okay, I'll let you respond, but
no, not but. Now's my turn.
You are not characterizing what I'm saying accurately.
Now it's my turn. Your definition is inaccurate. The reason your definition is inaccurate is because any sentient human being would acknowledge that history has consequences.
Right.
But if the idea is, but that's not what wokeism is.
A college student with emotions and hashtags tries to challenge Ben Shapiro on racism, but anticipates a beeline to victory. Instead, he receives a data-filled reality check that leaves them fumbling like nothing else. Fresher in his first meeting at the debate club. As Ben would tell the truth with law, the student clings to rhetoric as if it were a lifeboat cast adrift in a hurricane. Pro tip: do not just equip a Twitter thread's knowledge when battling in an arena of intellect. Before we continue with more logic-defying stunts, don't forget to press the like button now, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and turn on notifications.
Men do not menstruate. Only women menstruate. Now, you can call yourself whatever you want.
Cis men don't menstruate, but trans men do menstruate.
No,
Same
they
as
don't.
non-binary people.
Only women.
Menstruating is not exclusive
Yes,
to
it
cis
is.
women. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
So explain to me as to why my body
if
menstruated at
if
some
your
point
chromosomes are XX and you're young, you menstruate. If you're XY, you don't.
Correct, but what about trans men and non-binary? We're
not men.
excluding a whole group of
They're
people
women
that
dressed
menstruate.
as men.
Well, what's a man to you? You define a man for me.
You have chromosomes that are X and Y. That's what a man is.
It is exactly like seeing someone try to convince you that the sky is green. It sounds baffling, but strangely entertaining. A woke lady insists on screaming, "Men can menstruate," doubling down on rhetoric that would make biology textbooks weep. Enter the based man, brandishing nothing but facts, logic, and the demeanor of someone imparting kindergarten science. All while methodically busting apart examples from the basics of chromosomes and reproductive biology, leaving her scrambling for buzzwords. Masterclass is how to debunk nonsense while keeping a straight face. Spoiler, science wins, and so does reality for yet another day.
How do you dismantle a victim mentality on a person-to-person level?
I think the first thing is to stop coddling people. And in reality, people need to stand up and tell people sometimes not every single feeling you have is valid. My first pregnancy, when I was 9 months pregnant, women go through a phase that's known as nesting, and typically what it means is that you clean your whole house. So I didn't do that. My nesting period, I would not allow my husband to move 1 foot away from me. I thought he was going to die. And if he went downstairs and I woke up from a nap and he wasn't there, I'd cry. My feelings weren't valid. He didn't need to shackle himself to me and pretend that what I was feeling was real.
It's like watching a Jedi deflect poorly aimed blaster shots, seeing Candace Owens debate college students. This event saw pay-to-play students armed only with buzzwords and TikTok-level arguments take on Owens, only to find themselves reality-checked by facts and razor-sharp logic. Those arguments unravel faster than a cheap sweater. Owens does not only deconstruct their case, she does it as deftly as one would carve a Thanksgiving turkey. It is as equally satisfying as it is cringeworthy to see these so-called intellectuals realize they've come to a boxing match with PowerPoint in hand.
You consider it child abuse because you believe that a child is not capable of consenting to what you consider are irreversible procedures. Is that correct?
A damaging, irreversible procedure.
Damaging, okay. Ben, are your children circumcised? Did you circumcise your children?
Yes, I have 2 sons and they're both circumcised.
Why would you do that? Isn't that kind of hypocritical?
Nope, I'm circumcised, my works just fine.
This college student tries to corner Ben Shapiro with a comparison of puberty blockers and various transitioning treatments for children with circumcision. A class act, but it backfires spectacularly. The calm and confident Shapiro demolishes the whole thing using history and science with subtle doses of humor along the way. When the student gets a little personal, his savage but definitive retort, the fact that Ben has 4 children, is almost cruel. Shapiro goes on to demonstrate the absolute absurdity of the comparison between a common, accepted medical intervention and completely irreversible hormone therapies. It's a clinic in logical smackdowns, and the crowd just eats it up.
Hello everyone, I'm Natalie Gadilla. I'm a Caucasian woman with long blonde hair and I go by she, her. I'm a product marketing lead here at Microsoft and co-host of the podcast Security Unlocked with this guy.
Yes, that would be me. Hello everyone, I'm Nick Fillingham. I'm a Caucasian man with glasses and a beard. I go by he, him, and I'm a security evangelist here at Microsoft.
OMG. So name, pronouns, of course, and then skin color? Hair color? Why? Apparently this part of the introduction was done for employees and viewers who are visually impaired. You got to get everybody now. Every introduction.
Ah yes, the modern workplace, where introductions aren't complete until you've done a full character description as though auditioning for a role in The Sims. Natalia and Nick kick things off with more than their names and pronouns. They also include their hair color, skin color, and podcast credentials, all in the name of inclusivity for the visually impaired. Now, apparently, you need to be able to indicate your haircut in a professional context. So maybe that all sounds well and good, but the results feel more like a bizarre icebreaker from a corporate dystopia. Next time, let's skip the Crayola color chart and get straight to, actual work. And there you have it, a showcasing of how woke delusions usually crumble in front of logic, common sense, or just a hint of reality. It is these small reminders that keep us grounded that everyone is entitled to his opinions, but not every opinion has the freedom standing to scrutiny. Whether it is confusing biology with feelings, turning introductions into an art project, or reports instead of arguments, the weird woke way of thinking usually crumbles under the weight of its arguments.